Good morning, students. In the business research methodology, I discussed about around 251 PowerPoint slides. Now I am in the last stage of this concept, that is conceptual framework. A clear meaning to different terms and concepts that are relating to the research problem. That is, this is the conceptual framework. A clear meaning to different terms and concepts that are relating to the research problem. That is, desire to get research. That is, to face the challenges in the particular problem, or finding the meaning to the particular problem, or finding the solution to the particular problem is called as conceptual framework. A clear meaning to different terms and concepts that are relating to the research problem. Here, conceptual problem means, suppose I always taking the example of coffee industry. Here, terms and concepts, that is terms and concepts related to the, for example, labor problems in coffee industry. That is, the terms means labor, then problems related to, that is either it is a salary problem or non-availability of skilled labor, unskilled labor, semi-skilled labor. These are all the terms and concepts that are relating to the research problem. A clearly defined terms and concepts will hardly leave any room for confusions and doubts in terms of understanding the research problem. So we have to make, that is, proper intellectual joy of doing the creative work. That is, there is no room for, that is, you should not leave a room for confusions. That is, there should be a proper, that is, concepts and terms should be properly used. That is, I told you in the earlier, that is concepts like scope of the study. Scope of the study is, first one is, problems means it is related to financial problem, labor problem, personal problem, or problem related to purchase, loan, everything. This is the first problem. Second one, that is area, which area you are going to study, that is functional area it is called. Then one is year, for how many years your study is conducted, and that is the area, the concept, everything. For example, that is financial performance of Karnataka Bank, that is a comparative study. At that time, your concept and terms, that is your study is related to the Karnataka Bank only. Then concept is financial position. Then performance for how many years? You are comparing the performance. So it shows that a clearly defined terms and concepts will hardly leave any room for confusions and doubts in terms of understanding the research problem. So there should not be any doubt regarding the understanding of research problem. That means you should give the clear ideas about the research. So this is the conceptual framework. Next one is report writing and implication of the study. This is the last stage of the research methodology. Under this, it is expected to highlight possible research findings and their usefulness in the interest of the community. That is, it is expected to highlight the possible research finding after conducting the study, after collecting the data, and that is data either primary data or secondary data. Then you have to analyze the data, interpret the data. At that time, you can find some findings. After that, we have to give the, that is, suggestions to them. So it is expected to highlight the possible research finding and their usefulness in the interest of the community, if it is related to community. If it is related to the bank means, that is, you should give the report to the bankers. If it is related to the corporate sector, again you have to give the report to the corporate sector. For instance, a study on students' difficulty and dropouts in school education will certainly bring forward actual causes responsible for the same and will serve as a base for appropriate policy formulation to address the problem of students. So here, study on students' difficulty and dropouts in the school education. So here, number of students are getting dropout in the schools due to number of reasons. That is, sometimes that is the school is far away from their home, or sometimes they are not providing the midday meals, or their parents are not interested to send the students to the schools. So there are dropout ratio is more in the school education. So this is the problem, that is we have to find out that is the problem means we have to give the solution for this. Whether solution is like that, we have to make the policy formulation, that is to address the problems of the student. That is, if it is far away from the city or the schools, you have to construct one school that is which is nearest to their house. Then you have to appoint a proper teacher to there. Then midday meals facility and other facilities like providing the free uniform, free books or cycle bicycle. So these are all the, that is, facilities if you given by the government or by the private sector. That is dropout ratio in the school education will be less. So these are all the problems we have to find, and we have to find the solution for them. Next, financial assistance required. For any conduct of the research, we need the financial assistance from either from the own source or from the corporate world or from the loan from that is government, or that is scholarship provided by the central government or the state government. So costs need to be estimated as accurately as possible. Before conducting the survey, you have to decide how much of amount is required for the study, either for the purchase of stationery or for the purpose of providing the, that is, services like interview method or face-to-face method or questionnaire. At that time we have to pay the Xerox money, that is, copies are required, paper is required, stationery is required, Xerox machine is required, camera is required. So these are all the facilities, printer, computer, laptop or any other, that is, computer gadgets are to be used while we are conducting the survey. For that purpose you have to need, that is, even transport charges also you have to add. That is, everything is to be estimated properly before we are getting the financial assistance. Proposal involving economic cost will be appreciated. So how much of money you can, that is, spend, how much of less money you have to spend for the research, it will be appreciated, because that is unnecessary, you are making the expenses for the things, that is, it is not useful for the research. That is, research should be conducted in the economic cost. It is necessary to estimate cost of the research project and include the same in the proposal. So cost of research project after conducting the study, that is, we have to submit the project report to the concerned authority. That authority should be, that is, accept the report. For that purpose we have to prepare the research project properly binded, properly printed, quality of paper is used. Then experts are used for the purpose of preparing the project work in the form of graphs, multiple bar diagrams or pie diagram or any other that is statistical tools which are used for the study. It will give the decorum to the particular project. So this is what we called as, that is, it is necessary to estimate the cost of the research and include the same in the. So following up, were the recommendations are followed? So was sufficient information for decision making information contained in the report? Could we have written a report more useful to the management? So these are all the problems should be are made, that is, in the form of feedback or following up. That is, after you are submitting the report, whether you have to study whether this topic is or our recommendations are implemented by the business authority or government. Then was sufficient information for making the difference contained in the report. Again you have to make the following up in the form of whether our information we are collected, whether these informations are fulfilled or enough for the or sufficient for the decision making process. Then we have to another follow up we have to make, could we have written a report more useful to the management or not? Sometimes some of the reports are not useful to the management because of the time constraint or any other problems. For example, if anything goes on, so for example, before the pandemic COVID-19, that is, marketing managers are having the different strategy to improve their sales. But due to environmental factors, that is, unknowingly, external environment leads that our plan is completely failed due to pandemic COVID-19. So Sometimes our written report may be useful or may not be useful to the management. However, it is the duty of the research and development organization to provide submit the report to the management, those who are appointed for the research. So, students, this is the brief introduction about the business research methodology from the beginning to the end. In the next classes, I will go to conduct the class in the form of, that is, from the unit wise or module wise. So, be careful about this is the very complicated subject, that is business research methodology. It has 50% of, that is 50-50, that means 50% of theory and 50% of practical problem included in this BRM. So, go through the new, that is information which are available in the internet, and please correct the new, that is notes from your seniors, and correct the information from library or any other source. Then collect the previous question paper I have in the department. Then finally you can get, that is ready for the examination. So all the best. From tomorrow onwards, I will conduct the class on the basis of the module. So far I discussed about 55 slides which are related to the business research methodology. You should aware of it. Thank you.